Dr. Meg, and this is Dr. Carroll. We are the chiropractors at Chiropractic Family Wellness Center at Oasis, Maine. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. An experience that can happen definitely under chiropractic care, but even outside of chiropractic care. And it's an experience where you are re-feeling a car accident that you had 5 years ago, or a fall that you had 2 years ago, where you actually feel like this is just like when I had that accident. It feels exactly the same, but I didn't have another accident. That experience is called retracing. So we're going to describe what the physiology behind that is and how it's actually a healing experience.
One of the things we've found partnering with people on their wellness journey here is that, as Dr. Meg said, these things can come up and you will be, at first I find some people are like, I don't know why this is happening. There's nothing going on today that represents an experience I should be having this with. And it takes me and Dr. Meg and I a few questions in, especially when those are the answers that people are giving us, where I can put it together and say, so a year ago, I just had this happen the other day. A new woman came in and it's the exact month that she experienced a T-bone car accident. Exactly, it was this month a year ago. And she was like, oh. And I sometimes kid with people and say, you literally could be sitting in a closet and have these retracing experiences happen. And your nervous system, your body, your brain knows that it's a certain period of time beyond when it needs to re-heal, retrace this experience. And I think the most wonderful part about the care that we experience here at Oasis is that we have a group of practitioners that can help you through those experiences. And I know that when I've gone through retracing experiences, I have healed more deeply. I've taken that experience, I've taken adjustments, I've taken massages, I've taken reflexology, I've taken EFT experience or an acupuncture experience where I literally go through it with a different nervous system. So I become more whole by experiencing it again through a group of practitioners and help that can allow me to integrate it. And what I mean by integrating it is just beginning to get, that aha moment where you're like, oh, okay. So around this time of year, I should support myself, blah, 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 whatever it may be. So those are some of the tools that I have found are really helpful when your nerve system re-experiences an event. And basically, we have computers, our brain, that remembers everything. Everything. Now, do we pay attention to all our memories? Certainly not. A lot of them are way back in the files. But when it's the right timing, your nervous system can bring it to a place, sometimes when you are ready and don't even know you're ready. And it'll bring it up and have you have the ability now to really and truly heal that experience fully and make it part of an experience that you grow through. And that's really a critical piece of retracing, is to seize it as an opportunity. To have it not be like, oh, here I go again. Every March, I blah, blah, blah. Instead saying, wow, okay, this March, what should I do to add to my tool bag? Should I get adjusted more frequently? Should I have some more massage? Should I speak to someone or myself in meditation and prayer about what is different about this that I can be different with it? I've really found even little people, young children, all the way up, teenagers, it happens in rhythm. So it doesn't matter your age, your time of life, retracing can happen. It can be something that you can seize as a development of becoming more whole.
It's very interesting. The first time I experienced this was with Dr. Carroll when we were in chiropractic school. And her second semester of school, she had a very bad car accident. She hurt her neck very badly. And she did get adjusted through it, but a year later, she woke up and she could not turn her head. She couldn't move. And she had no physical stresses. But it was a year to the time when she had had her first accident. And she got adjusted through it again, she healed very well, and it was like another layer of the onion cleared that experience for her. And for the next, I would say, probably 3 years, it was less severe every year, but every year for the next 3 years, in January, she would experience that same sensation that she connected in her mind to the car accident, and physically it looked the same. But she never, it's been 27 years now, and come January is no issue for her because she took the time and the opportunity to heal through every layer of that experience and allow her body to fully integrate it so that she could actually grow through it and become healthier through it. And that's the real opportunity with an experience of retracing, is that it allows, when you use it as an opportunity and you use the tools available to you, it really gives you the ability to become empowered and actually evolve through that experience, which is a very different idea than just taking a bunch of aspirin and painkillers and muscle relaxants and just making it through. You could do that, but you're not really having any learning, you're not gaining any health, and you're going to just keep experiencing it year after year after year after year until you really take the time to heal through it. And so we want to make sure that you use those retracing experiences as opportunities for healing. I had another experience with my son who experienced retracing in a very unique way. When he was 4, he broke his arm falling off a swing set, as thousands of other kids have done, and it was the bones were not aligned properly, and so in the emergency room they gave him this medication that caused him to feel the pain of setting the bone but have no conscious memory of setting the bone. And they had to give him an IV in order to give him that medication, which he was petrified of. And but they gave him the IV, they gave him the medication, and when they set the bone, I was in the room, he screamed. It was an incredibly painful experience for him. But literally 10 seconds later, I asked him about it, and he didn't know what I was talking about. But years later, so he was 4, and then when he was a sophomore in high school, he was playing soccer and got extremely dehydrated. He had to go to the emergency room, and they wanted to give him an IV for fluids. And he had the most incredible retracing experience because in his physiology, in his nervous system, remembered that time when which was the last time he had had an IV, and the pain that he connects with that, because in his body he connects the pain of setting the bone with an IV. And so he was my 15-year-old 6-foot son was in tears. He said, "Get me out of here." And that was a retracing experience for him. And I didn't connect the pieces of the puzzle right away, but I did, I talked with Carroll about it, and we understood that connection. And so he did a lot of adjustments for the next few weeks to help his body regain, because he had gotten so dehydrated, but more so to allow his nervous system to release the stress of that experience from when he was 4 and the fact that it was still in his body. So he still doesn't like hospitals, but he doesn't have that same visceral response to the idea of having to go to a hospital. And that is because we allowed for that experience, that retracing experience, to happen in a very healthy way for him. It is a critical thing that we don't want to carry around in our bodies. It's not helpful. And it will, if you use the tools that we've talked about, it will allow you to become a stronger person.
I think that's one of the things that we notice here, being in practice this long for 30 years, is that when we partner with people, we can help see the pieces of the puzzle put together over a lifetime, because they are stored away, but as an observer, we remember, we know, because it wasn't trauma for us. We observed it for you. And so that's another piece of the reason for wellness care and the reason for taking your care of yourself over time, is because when we partner with you here in Oasis, we can be the observer for you to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.